Ronnie Ward from the Ditmas section of the Flatbush neighborhood, Brooklyn, in the city of New York. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Wednesday, just barely into Wednesday. Yeah. Wednesday. Oops. Yeah. It's 10 after midnight on Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. And so what do we have here on the video? Glass to metal seal structures monitoring protocol preview. Posted on March 1st, 2023. 1,000 views, 1 likes. Optimized sealing process and real-time monitoring of glass to metal seal structures. A 2-minute preview of the experimental protocol. Okay. I can't read all this. It's too much detail. I just can't really read all of it right now. But here we go.
This protocol can be used to perform the real-time simultaneous temperature and stress monitoring of the metal-to-glass structures for the first time. The main advantage of this technique is that the fiber block grating sensor can be well fused with the metal-to-glass structure without destroying the insulation or hermeticity of the metal-to-glass structure. Demonstrating the procedure with Zhichun Fan will be Kang Jiahu, a master student from iNet.
To process granulated glass powder, pour approximately 1.1 grams of the powder into a glass cylinder mold and place the mold onto the press machine. To compact the glass into a glass cylinder, switch on the press machine and place the resulting cylinder into a heating furnace to be sintered. Remove the sintered glass cylinder from the heating furnace and use a graphite gasket to manufacture the glass cylinder, the steel shell, and the Kovar conductor. For residual stress measurement, first fuse the head of an optical fiber with an FC connector by the fusion splicers, and match the FC connector with an interrogator to demodulate the wavelength and the FPG spectrum. Insert the FPG through a path in the sealing glass of the manufactured MTGS model with the grating of the FPG positioned precisely within the glass. Then fix another FPG near the sealing glass to monitor the temperature only. Connect the interrogator to a computer and use a heat treatment claw to place the sintered glass cylinder, steel shell, FPGs, and Kovar conductor.
November 19th, 2017. Glass ceramics, nature, properties, and processing. Postgraduate course organized by La Mavi Seyretev from the Department of Materials Engineering of the Federal University of Sao Carlos on November 14th. Nature, properties, and processing, the course fundamentals of the vitreous state of the Professor Dr. Edgar D. Zanotto from... Here we go. I can't imagine what this is going to be. I can't imagine what this is going to be.
This is our final class. I know you're very sad because you wanted more classes, right? And this is very light. There's no big equations or theories. This is about glass ceramics.
This is ridiculous. I can tell you right now, this is heinous. I already know right now it is. I can't even believe I'm going to watch this, but I am.
Well, what's the idea to understand crystallization, nucleation, crystal growth? This is for two purposes. One purpose is to avoid crystallization. If one wants to make a glass, crystallization has to be avoided. On the other hand, if you desire to produce a glass ceramic, one has to control nucleation crystal growth. And by glass ceramic, I mean you may have an inorganic glass, and then heat treat that glass. If you're very lucky, you end up with a polycrystalline material, and the grains are all inside the material. If these grains are small enough, you end up with a transparent material. This is polycrystalline and transparent because the grain size is much smaller than the wavelength of visible light. These three pieces have exactly the same chemical composition.
What purpose would having something like that serve? Like what? Like what? Like, what's this for?
A glass, an opaque glass ceramic, and a transparent glass ceramic. So, the nature, overall properties, in processing of...
What's his name? Oh, Brazil. Of course, Portuguese. Of course. Absolutely. Of course. Portuguese. Brazil. Yeah. Edgar Dutra Zanotto. Are you kidding me?
Glass ceramics. All the lectures are available at this website here and some other websites also. Today we'll be talking about, of course, we are not talking about high temperature reactions. And by glass ceramic, I mean you may have an inorganic glass, and then heat treat that glass. If you're very lucky, you end up with a polycrystalline material, and the grains are all inside the material. If these grains are small enough, you end up with a transparent material. This is polycrystalline and transparent because the grain size is much smaller than the wavelength of visible light. These three pieces have exactly the same chemical composition. A glass, an opaque glass ceramic, and a transparent glass ceramic. So, the nature, overall properties, in processing of glass ceramics. All the lectures are available at this web.
Edgar Dutra? Who is this person?